Hey, it's Hayley. Today I'm going to be sharing with you everything that I have learnt thus far making YouTube videos in terms of equipment and editing, and some little tips and tricks that I've learnt along the way. I don't have a very large following at all. I have pretty much nothing, but I do really enjoy making videos, and it took me a while to figure out exactly what kind of equipment that I needed to actually create something that looked, somewhat nice. So today I'll be sharing with you how I managed to figure it all out, and hopefully this helps you. So the camera that I'm filming on right now is the Canon M6. It is actually a mirrorless camera. It's not like a full-on DSLR with the big black chunky ones, those ones. And it is, I think, used a lot for vlogging, but I actually found that this camera is really good for filming. I previously had a Nikon, like this huge guy. This is the D3200, and this is a heavy camera. I had this camera from a long time ago when I was, trying to get into photography, and I started using this on my channel when I first started. It doesn't have a screen that pops out, so I have no idea what I was filming. And it doesn't have autofocus, and with this big lens, I didn't want to get another lens for this because I really thought I was going to, upgrade anyways or change over to another camera. So this lens is a Sigma 18 to 200 millimeter lens, so not really ideal for filming. I know you can get, a Canon, a simple DSLR Canon with the kit lens that will do fine with filming and all that. But I did not like this because I could never get the quality right. The speakers weren't great. This is pretty much just an old camera, and I just couldn't really work with it for filming purposes. It does excellent in photography situations, but for filming it was a no-go. So I eventually bit the bullet, and I did a lot of research, and I decided to get the Canon N6 because I thought it'd be good for vlogging and for making videos at home. And also the camera itself is really good. I can take it out, take photos, take videos. It's just an all-rounder good camera, and I thought if I'm going to invest my money into a camera, I want to be able to use it for making videos at home and for vlogging. So that's what I did. This camera is a bit on the pricier side, but so far I love it. It is such a good camera. I can even link it to my phone, so if I ever want to send over a photo that I've taken from this camera to my phone, it's really simple. It's just amazing. Technology is amazing. And it has a flip-up screen, so it flips all the way up, so I can see myself right now, and I can see that it's auto-focusing on my face so that it doesn't go blurry, because my old camera did not do it, and half the time I was out of focus, and it was just this whole ordeal of me trying to make sure that I was in focus. It was just horrible. So I highly recommend that you get a camera that has autofocus and that it also has a flip-up screen, so you know exactly what you are filming and if you're in frame and all that good stuff. So some extra little pieces that I bought when I got the camera was this Manfrotto Pixie mini tripod, and this will be used when I start vlogging. When I have enough confidence to start vlogging, I will use this. And so basically you just attach the camera to this part, and then you can hold the camera a bit more securely. Rather than trying to hold it like this, you can just hold the base of this and you're all good to go. This also extends its legs, so if you're feeling, I don't know, it's a little bit short. And then also it's a good tripod because it can also go out, then you can change how much it extends and all that. So yeah, it's a pretty functional little guy, and I don't think it was that expensive. But I will put all the information of where I got everything and how much it all cost down below. I also got these little memory cards. You can never have too many of these. I have a 64 gigabyte one here, then I have I think another 32, and then I have I think another 16 gig one laying around. So I always have heaps of memory cards around because I always fill up my camera, and I'm always worried that I'm going to lose files when I've done that before. So I tend to not delete my files. until I'm desperately out of space. So I have heaps of these little guys lying around. These are quite expensive, so cherish them with your life. But yeah, memory cards, get a few of those. So when I was looking around trying to figure out how my setup is going to be like, it's not very nice at the moment, but I live in a really small place and there aren't that many options of areas to film, so I just film on my couch with my curtain down behind me. But when I move into a bigger place, hopefully soon, I'll have a better setup and all that. My current setup is really boring and looks very basic, but I do want to create a nicer background in the future. But a thing that I was considering was microphones. So I've seen people put on microphones onto their cameras. With this camera, it's a bit difficult because the lens, or not the lens, the screen flips up to where the horseshoe is, and the horseshoe is where you attach the microphone. So with this camera, it's a bit difficult. You'll have to attach it to the side. I've seen people do some Velcro home jobs and it still works just as fine. Another thing I've seen is microphones that you, I think, attach via cord to your camera, and you can just have the microphone just sitting nearby. And also I've seen the lapel mics. So they're all different options there. Because of financial reasons, I haven't got a microphone yet. I will probably go with the microphone style where it'll plug into my camera, just because I can move around my microphone, and I don't really like the idea of having to stick a microphone onto my camera, onto this camera, because it's just going to be a bit maybe a bit harder to work with. So yes, I will plan on getting a microphone. I'll also link down below some microphones that you can purchase and different options if you do want to look into it, because I've done a lot of research, so I can definitely recommend some down below. I just don't have a lot of information stuck in my head at the moment that I can tell you right now. But yes, I'll link it all down below. I don't know if I said this before, but at the moment I'm just using the microphone on my camera. I think this is fine. The sound quality sounds quite good to me, so that's why I'm using it. But you just got to make sure that your surroundings are quite quiet, but that's the same issue if you would have if you had a good microphone. Make sure there's no humming or construction or really loud traffic outside. So you need to keep the volume down inside wherever you are. But a lot of the time I can hear my neighbours walking past making sounds in the hallway, which is really annoying. Or my cat starts eating or licking himself, which is a really disturbing sound to hear on camera. So those things I can't really prevent. But yeah, as I was saying, the microphone on this camera is actually really good, so that's another upside to the Canon M6. Another important element is lighting, and for this part I was really unsure of what kind of light to get, because there are different options, many different types of lights that you can use and different brands, and from the start I knew that I wanted a Diva ring light because that was an all-rounder kind of light, and I really wanted to get the actual Diva ring light brand, but it was just not possible because Amazon doesn't ship that product to Australia, and although we've just opened up Amazon Australia, they still don't have the actual ring light available on the website, but they do have other brands on there. So when I was looking on the American Amazon, I was seeing a lot of this brand called Newer, and I looked at a few reviews on YouTube, and that's what a lot of people had been using, the Newer brand. And when I tried to even look at that, it wasn't available on the American Amazon site, and as I said before, we didn't have Amazon at that time, so I was a bit stuck because all these ring lights that I was seeing on Amazon weren't available to me. So I went onto eBay and I found a ring light, and I bought it. It was about $300, which is quite a lot of money, and overall I think I'm pretty unhappy with it. For the amount of money that I paid, the quality isn't there. It feels really cheap, and I'm just, yeah, really dissatisfied with it. I'll try to link down below which one I got, so don't even bother getting that. I'm not 100% sure if the newer brand will be much better in quality. I think it might be because they actually specialize in like all the lighting and stuff, and there have been positive reviews on YouTube previously for that brand, so I think it'll be better overall, and it is cheaper. I think it's like half the price. Let me check. Yes, so in Australia on Amazon, the newer camera photo video kit, which is an 18 inches / 48 centimeter, 5,500, Jesus, yada yada yada, that is $150, $145.99 actually. So that's really good. Shipping, how much is shipping? Free delivery. So that is such a good price. So if you are starting YouTube, consider getting this one because it is so much cheaper. Comparably on eBay, I definitely think the price of ring lights have gone down ever since Amazon has introduced the newer brand to Australia, because that one is so cheap. Why would you buy one from eBay that's $300? Because when I was looking, a lot of the ring lights were around the $300 price point. So yeah, they're definitely cheaper now. I'm seeing 130, 140, 110, but I can't actually find the brand that I bought from. Yeah, so the brand that I bought from doesn't even sell anything on eBay anymore. I can't find them. I went to my email to see if I could press on there on my my order confirmation, and I can't even find it on there. So yeah, I don't think that they even sell this ring light anymore, which is good because it's actually shit and nobody should have to buy it. But it does do its job. Like, it does provide light, and that's, I guess, its main purpose. But what I'm saying is the overall quality is just not very nice. It's very unsturdy, very flimsy. But I will show you exactly what I'm talking about in this next clip. So this is where the camera attaches to the ring light. It's in a hot shoe, and then this is two different pieces, but it's really problematic because when I'm trying to attach my camera, it's a bit scary, to be honest, because it just doesn't really work very well. When I first received all of this, it didn't come with any instructions, and I didn't actually know that this was two pieces because it was screwed down all the way to the base, and I just had no idea. And then after further investigation, after a while, I actually realized that it was two pieces, but even then it just doesn't work very well. It could have been engineered a little bit better. So this is where you would put on the mirror, and I recently took it off because it was becoming really problematic. But I'll show you what the mirror looks like, but I'll turn it around because otherwise you can see my pajamas. So as you can see, this piece just comes a little bit just above the mirror, and with the camera on there, it was just kind of really hard to attach the camera. But in saying that, once the camera was on, it also created a bit more stability for my camera. But on the end, I just decided to take it off because it was just a little bit too annoying. So this is the light at its lowest setting, and we'll turn it all the way up to the brightest. And the light is actually pretty good. You can see it has no problems getting really bright, and it does do a really good job at illuminating like it's supposed to. But the problem that I have with this light is more so of, I guess, the price it was compared to the quality. And the light piece actually isn't that bad. It does its job, but the tripod is probably the most problematic part of this. But as I said, it does do its job overall. It's just that $300 for this doesn't really seem worth it. Moving on to the tripod itself, and as you can see just here, it is very wonky. It's not straight, and that's, I guess, the area that I have most issue with, the way that it attaches to the tripod. It's just really unsteady. Like, you can literally see how much it moves, and the tripod itself is really flimsy. It's very thin. It has no weight in it at all, so I just have to be really careful when using it that I don't accidentally knock it over, because it is just so light. So the reason why I decided to go for a ring light rather than umbrella lights or soft boxes or those LED panel lights was because I don't have much space. As I said, I live in a small tiny apartment and I just don't have space. I don't have space to create some sort of filming room. I just bring out my stuff every time I need it into the lounge room and I just film. So I didn't have space to set up soft boxes or umbrella lights. So I wanted something that would kind of illuminate my entire face, no matter the lighting conditions. So I thought the ring light was good overall, and I do like the little ring that it creates in your eyeballs. So that's why I went for the ring light, and I think it's very multi-purpose. I have tried a lamp, I've tried putting on all my lights in my house, but it's never enough. You need a white light shining at your face to get the best quality lighting. Also, another thing is, if you don't have good lighting, the quality of your video will go down because your camera is trying so hard to make up for that loss of light that sometimes the video will end up looking a bit grainy because it's trying to bring in as much light as it can. So if you have some good lighting, your quality will be a lot better as well. In terms of tripods, I just have my camera attached to the ring light, but I've seen other people use tripods behind the actual ring light, maybe for a bit more stability. I know that what my camera's on at the moment is really unstable and it's not really straight either. It's really hard to get it straight. Yeah, it's not the greatest setup, but I'm working on it. So yeah, as I said, other people use tripods behind the actual ring light. I do have another tripod, but it's just too much for me to set up every time, so I just attach it to the ring light. Tripods are relatively cheap to buy, and yeah, you can get some pretty cheap ones. I think probably only around $50–60, probably even cheaper, but as the quality goes up, the price can really go up. So you don't really need a great one if you are just filming videos. Just a really basic one will do. So yeah, that's it for tripods. I don't know if I have any other information. Oh, editing. So what I use for editing is Final Cut Pro. I do have a Mac, so I do have iMovie on there. And I just wanted to learn something that was a little bit more advanced than iMovie. I started off playing around on iMovie to see what the capabilities were, and I just thought, well, I'm learning this whole new program, I may as well get something that is a bit more capable of doing more, and I was able to grasp it pretty easily. The basic stuff is really easy to do and you can get an understanding of it very quickly, but of course there is a lot of stuff you can do on Final Cut Pro that I'm just not at that level yet. But if I need to use those capabilities, then I will learn. It does cost quite a lot of money though, so you can be dodgy or you can buy it, but iMovie works just as well, and I'm sure there's other free Windows movie maker out there as well. If you're just starting off really basic and you don't have any money, then just start off using that and you'll learn it very easily, and then I think from there, if you want to keep making videos, you can then upgrade to another video making program. Another video making program. I'm so good at this talking thing. Finally, I just want to talk about thumbnails, and this is a pretty important part, I would say, to making a video. You want to make an attractive thumbnail, so people will want to press on your videos, even though no one presses on my videos. But I think it helps to have a nice thumbnail that you've put work into. I really enjoyed this part because I like the whole designing part of it and using Photoshop. So I like making a nice thumbnail rather than just using a clip from the video. But if you have a good clip that you want to use on the video, then that's fine as well, but I like to create something extra for my video. So for a thumbnail, I would typically take a frame out of the video that I'm filming. So at the end of the video, I will do a couple of poses, and then when I export that onto my computer and I'm in Final Cut Pro, I'll go through all those images or that video and try to screenshot some good poses that I've made for the thumbnail. So what I've learned is sometimes you need a really plain background, so it's easier for you to cut yourself out and it's a bit more flat and just easy. So what I've learned is to use a big piece of card behind you, and then so when you're taking, this is really crazy, I know, but when you are taking the thumbnail like so, it's so easy to cut yourself out from this white background. You can even probably use the magic wand tool and cut yourself out because the background is just so flat and so different to your actual body. So it makes things a lot easier. And yeah, this sounds really crazy and I don't know how I came up with this, but this is what I do to get a thumbnail, and then from there I will cut myself out on Photoshop, and then I will put in a, usually I'll just put in a colored background and then some text. For text you can just go on defont.com and find some cool fonts on there that you can add onto your videos. Make sure that they're clear and easy to read, and I just use a font all the time, or the same font throughout all my thumbnails, just to keep a bit more uniform, and I like that font. So that's what I've been doing, and yeah, I think that's all I have to say. You will have to invest a bit of money into this. You don't have to invest too much, but I think the most important part is that you get a good camera. Lighting is kind of optional. If you live in a place where there's good lighting, you can just go off natural sunlight. But where I live, the natural sunlight is rubbish, so I have to really rely on this ring light. I've tried using a lamp and that's just not really good, especially if you're using like a warm light. That's just a no-go. You'll have to get a white light for your lamp if you want to use that. But yeah, I'm sure there are other ways that you can substitute lighting otherwise. But yeah, definitely invest the money in the camera, and if you get a good camera, you don't really need a microphone or any external stuff. Just get a good camera and you should be alright. And if you do want to create videos, then just start, because I have wanted to create videos for such a long time. Like I literally have been watching YouTube videos since like early Michelle Phan days, like years and years and years ago, and I always thought, oh, I'd love to create videos, but I just never had enough confidence to do it up until recently, and I just thought, you know what, just try, and you know, you haven't really lost much if nothing ever comes out of it, because at least I've enjoyed this and I've enjoyed learning how to do all this, and I've practiced my own speaking and everything. Okay, so I think that I've covered everything that I can at this moment. If I forgot anything, I will link everything down below. I will even link down some suggestions of equipment that you can buy. So go check that out, and I hope that I can help you. If I haven't answered any of the questions that you might have, leave me a comment and I will try my hardest to get back to you with the right information or what I can. So yeah, if you like this video, go hit the like button, and if you want to see some more videos by me, go hit subscribe. It means so much to me. I have been doing YouTube for a little while now, and it's kind of hard getting yourself out there. So yeah, you'll be helping me out a lot if you go subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I will hopefully see you next time. Bye!